Michellie Jones, and last time we interviewed her was at Chicago, and we asked her about Kona last year, and obviously had some difficulties in Kona, but she's back, she's healthy, she's smiling, typical Michellie. So let me ask you about this race. How's the training been going over the winter? Where were you located? Were you on the West Coast, or where have you been training, and how's that been going?
Of course, I've been in San Diego. It's a new place to be during the winter.
Yep.
You know, I'm happy with how everything's been going this year. You know, I'm not injured. I'm here.
Yeah.
Ready to race. It's going to be a hard day, but it's going to be a hard day for everyone. And it's an Ironman.
Yep.
You know, it is going to be difficult, and it is challenging. And like everyone else, I want to get to the finish.
Let me ask you this: as you look beyond this race, not that we want to overlook this race, what are some of the other races that you're looking forward to this year? Whether there are other 70.3s, or are you going to try to fit in another Ironman before Kona, or what's your schedule looking like?
No Ironman before Kona.
Okay.
This is it. I'm going to do a couple of 70.3s. My schedule's pretty much only determined up until about the 1st of June.
Oh, okay.
After that, then I'll decide what I want to do leading up to Hawaii.
Okay, you're not doing anything between now and June, or?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to do an Xterra race in Temecula.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to do a couple of sprint races, and I'm going to do a triathlon in Canada called the Oliver Half Ironman.
Oh, that's right. I heard about that. Okay, is that a newer triathlon or not? No?
It's been around for a while, but it's some of it's on the Canadian Ironman course, so I thought it would be a great way to check that out as well.
Oh, interesting. Okay, great. One last question for you is, you were obviously a short courser for a long time, super successful, most winningest triathlete ever. Now, so let me ask you, an Olympic year, you've been there, you know what all the hype is like, and now we're going to Beijing, and there's so many girls that run times are ridiculous with Emma and Vanessa. Who would be your picks on the women's side and on the men's side?
Oh my goodness. You know, you would assume that it's going to be either one of the girls.
Right.
Fernandez or Snowsill. You
Okay.
assume, but you know what? Look at the past Olympics.
Yeah, it's never the favorites.
You never know. And that's the unique thing about triathlon. You never know. And the guys' race, to me, is even more of a toss-up.
Really?
There's a couple of guys.
Okay, well, let's mention a couple of them. Who do you think? Like, you know, just not who's going to win gold, but on the podium. Too hard.
The men's race is too hard because it determines who's going to get selected on the teams.
Yep.
It determines who's going to try to take it out. It's a harder one to predict because not the same person does well all the time. You never know who's going to win those races.
So let me ask you this, because this is a similar related question, is who do you think on the guys' side, from what you've seen at Kona, who do you think this year at Kona would be kind of up there in top 3, top 5?
I mean, you assume McCormick.
Yeah. Maybe some of the Germans if they're not sick.
Well, that's the thing. I think it'll depend on if the guys are willing to really take it out on the bike.
Yeah.
Last year that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, previous to last year it was a lot different race.
Yep.
And this year it just depends if somebody wants to really go for it.
Okay. One last question I have is, do you think that you'd ever do Kona and then back-to-back go to Clearwater and try to do 70.3?
No.
Okay. You're too smart for that pain.
You know what? It's different training.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, you know, the training you do for Hawaii is very different from the training you do for Clearwater.
Okay, one last question that I want to ask you is just...
that last question.
I know, I'm sorry. Okay, the last one is just the organization that you've teamed up with. Obviously, Newton's a big sponsor of it, but Athletes for a Cure. Can you just tell us a little bit about that and what you guys have been trying to do and how you raise money and maybe the website for it?
Yeah, Athletes for a Cure is all about prostate cancer, and 1 in 3 men get prostate cancer. And you know, I have a lot of men involved in my life and a lot of friends, and have one of the guys at Newton running actually was diagnosed with prostate cancer a few years ago.
Yep.
So, you know, it's one of those things that guys don't always like to go to doctors. So, you know, we've got to encourage them.
All right. Okay, well, thank you, Michellie, and good luck at the race on